everyone, this is Felicia from Felicia by the Seasons. Thank you so much for stopping by today. In today's video, I'm on to another adventure, you guys. I am decorating a second fall tree for my home. Now this particular tree is a lot shorter than the other tree that I decorated in my glam office. This particular tree, I'm estimating that it's about 4 to 4.5 feet. So I'm going to take you up so you can take a look at this. And maybe in this video, this tree looks like it's very huge, but it is not. It's a nice sized tree, don't get me wrong, but I think it's about 4 to 4.5 feet, and that's kind of what the base looks like there. And I'm going to be decorating this tree, and I'm going to be taking you guys along with me. So I encourage you to go ahead, get one of your favorite drinks, your favorite snack, sit back, relax, and come along on this adventure with me as I decorate this tree. Now, before we get started, I'm just going to show you some of the items that I'm going to be using, and all of the items that I'm going to be using to decorate this tree. None of these are new purchases. Some of these are items that I have bought years past. I may have used them and I never got around to use them. They're just some extra pieces that I have on hand. So nothing in this video is new. So this is the first thing that I'm going to show you. This is just a mixture of the pumpkins that I have at my fingertips that I'm thinking about adding into this tree. So I just want you to take a look at them. I've got a floral pick here with a pumpkin on it. Then I've got my little sparkly pumpkins. Then I've got some little velveteen pumpkins here. And the ones to the bottom, they're a little bit more bronze in color, a little bit darker. Then I have the traditional orange. So those are some of the things that I will be adding into the tree. And then I just have a mixture of florals here that I have on hand. And some of my bittersweet that was left from a previous project that I worked on. I kept some of those. And of course I have some more floral picks. These are some floral picks that I bought and I just never used them. I never use them because sometimes I'll take floral picks and I'll pick them apart and cut them up. But I never touched these for some reason. So when I looked in my bin and saw them together, I said, you know what, I just might use those. So those are some other things that I'm using. And also, this is some other things that I have left over. I have some of these burlap leaves. I have them in the maple leaf here. I think these is more of an acorn, and in the orange, and another little glam pumpkin there, some more floral picks that I have left over, and this particular corn husk pumpkin, I think, which is sort of cute. And then I have like my little scarecrow in here. May use it, may not. But you know, when you're decorating something like a tree and you have to have many parts, it's just good to have all your items together. And I also have some greenery that I'm going to be using as well. I have a little of this lamb's ear. Not quite sure if I'm going to be using this or not, but we'll just see. And also, I have some garland that I'm going to be using. So let me go get that, and we're going to use that in decorating the tree as well. And my apologies, I had to run and go get this, you guys, because I left it on the table. And but this is just my flowering garland that I like to decorate with. And I'm going to add this to the tree. I'm going to see how this looks. And you might be asking, why in the world are you adding garland to an already green tree? Well, let's rationalize this. Okay, just follow me in my thought process. Is when you're decorating the tree, it's a Christmas tree. We all know that this is a Christmas tree. And I'm just going to let you go back up, take a look at it. But I want to change the texture of this tree. And when I add the garland, I'm going to change the look of this tree from just looking like a traditional Christmas tree. And that's the base right there. That's a good shot of what the base looks like. It's kind of like a bronzy looking pot that is sitting in. And I want to change the texture of this tree. And one surefire way to do that is by adding some garland in there. So I'm going to try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, you know, I'm not losing anything. So let me go ahead and make some adjustments here, and let's get started in decorating this tree. So I hope you've got your favorite snack, your favorite drink, because we're off to this adventure. So I'm going to go ahead and add this garland to the tree. Now you might not be able to see me adding it to the top, but I am going to start to the top of this tree. Okay, so I'm going to place it at the crown or the very top of the tree. And I'm going to show you what I'm doing here, okay? So let me bring it back down. And I've started at the top of the tree. Now, I have not placed it in there yet, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So give me just a minute here. And what I'm going to do, if you're going to add anything to your tree, just use your branches. Branches are probably about the best way to use the branches that you have. And I preferably like to use the branches that don't have the lights attached to it. And I forgot to tell you, yes, this tree has lights on it, okay? And because I didn't bring the extension cord in here, you're probably not going to see it lit up because I forgot to bring the extension cord. So I'm just going to go ahead and weave this in out of the tree. And because of the way the branches are, I really do not, it doesn't look like I really have to really, you know what, I'm just going to wrap this around the tree. How about that? Because I am going to add another piece to this tree. So I think I'm going to do it this way. So that's my first piece there. Okay. So I'm going to let you take a look at that. And it's going to look kind of like, what's she doing? What's she doing? But that's the beginning process of it. Okay. Now I'm going to go back in and I'm going to add in my second garland. And this tree, I'm going to put this in the living room, probably in the entryway. So it is going to be facing the wall, so to speak. So I'm really going to make sure that I get the sides as well as the bottom of this tree, because it's going to be against a wall in that living room entryway. So now I'm just going to go ahead and add in this second garland. And I'm going to place this around right where I left off here. And I'm going to attach this with my branch. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that in there. Make sure it's in there. And I'm going to go ahead and place this around. And by adding this garland, it changes the texture of this tree. And it also thickens this tree up as well. So it makes it a little bit fuller looking. So I'm going to just go ahead and wrap that around there. Okay. And that little loop, I'm just going to wrap it right around the tree, just like that. So then once you get that installed in your tree, go ahead and start taking the garland and just fluff your garland out as well. Just like it's a part of the tree, which it is a part of the tree now, you've attached it. But go ahead and fluff it out just like you would your tree. And I don't know whether I mentioned that at the beginning of this video. So I'm just going to remind you all, before you decorate any tree, make sure you fluff out every single branch of your tree, okay? And this tree right here, before I started, I did fluff it out. So I didn't forget my own step. All right, so let's take a look at it. And we're gonna see what the progress is right now. And as you can see, look at that tree. It's looking fuller. Oh my goodness. Look at it. It doesn't even look like the same tree when we started. Okay. All right, very nice. And I don't know whether I've mentioned this before, but I like to go in nature and go into the forest and so forth and look at how trees and branches and bushes and vegetation looks in nature. And I take my ideas from that, from nature. And I have been in the forest before, and I have seen trees that have these discolorations or varying colors in them in the forest. And some of them have ivy growing on the trunks of them, running up through the tree. Some of them look just like this tree that I'm doing right now. And I probably didn't have a good appreciation when I was a child running around in the forest and looking at that stuff, but I can remember it now. I have a deeper appreciation for it now, just how magnificent our vegetation is. So now once you've got your greenery in there, I'm going to go ahead and start adding some fall colors. Now this particular tree, unlike the tree that I decorated in my glam office, in which I use neutral colors, I am going to decorate this one with all traditional colors, as you can see by the items that I showed you earlier, okay? And I'm excited to do that. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know, let's see what we want to do here. I'm probably going to add in, let's see. We have so many choices to choose from, you guys, so it's just unbelievable. I think I'm going to try adding some of this in here. I'm going to start breaking this apart because you can see it's got the beautiful pine cones in it. It's got some of the nice varying colors right here in the berries. And then it's got these other little feathery pieces of branches here. So I'm just going to go ahead, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this up. If I don't cut it up, I might use the whole thing. So give me just a minute here and see, can I go ahead and do that? Because I want it to look more natural and earthy-like. So I'm just going to go ahead and start clipping that. So I'm going to add in my little pine cone. Stick that in there, make it look really natural-like. Then I'm going to go ahead, and you might not see me do this, but I am clipping these pieces, and I'm just adding them randomly throughout the tree. Okay? So I really like decorating trees, and that's probably why I'm doing a second one. To be perfectly honest, because I wanted to do a